Good afternoon. My name is Jacob Wierson, and I will be covering ITM Block 3. And this, thanks for joining me this afternoon. All right, so Alvin Toffler once said that our technological powers increase, but the side effects and potential hazards also escalate. This quote meshes perfectly well with what we're going to be covering today in Block 3. And be talking about the many powers that comes with IT through what we're going to talk about first, which is jobs and career opportunities in IT. However, we're going to talk about the potential hazards as well in talking about information, how they protect against those possible hazards, as well as talking about the moral code and principles that both IT professionals of information systems must follow, and that is what we call ethics. So let's get started with our first topic, and that is jobs and career opportunities in IT. You know, IT is a vast world of opportunities and jobs, technology, and in the age of information, there are so many opportunities for individuals to get into the IT world. Several of those today. We're going to talk about first with jobs that deal with directly with computers. Now, remember that computers are not necessarily just laptops or desktops. In fact, they're actually anything with a microprocessor. So our smartphone is, in a sense, a small computer. So is our iPad or our tablet or anything that we use nowadays is a computer. And there are a variety number of jobs that are associated with those devices. For example, you can have information engineers and the individuals that are behind the wiring and the configuration of these information systems, dealing with the nooks and crannies of these systems, who actually put them together, know the science behind them, and know how and to maintain these systems. Also, you've got developers such as website, application, or game developers. They create websites and they know the coding and they know the alignment and what needs to be done in order to recruit line. You've got app developers, where we're using apps all the time on any of our smartphone devices, and there essentially is an app for everything. So those are big jobs that are being created in the IT field as we speak, because there are tons of applications and games for our information systems that are being created. So there are developers for those specific things, and those are big job creators. Of course, there's other opportunities in IT without, in which you don't have to deal directly with in the IT field, such as consultants or project managers. These are the individuals that are hired for particular companies and to consult, advise these companies on what softwares to produce, what systems to produce in order to reach their correct business. And also for project managers, any project that is created and you have to use an information system, these project managers are hired specifically to help individuals and companies manage their information systems correctly. That anything they're doing is created efficiently, as well as created correctly. Next, we're going to move on to information security. So we have, from IT professionals, we have security. We talked about those potential hazards in IT. Of course, there are always hackers. There are always individuals that are willing to disrupt the natural flow of things within technology. People are compromised. Information is compromised. Information especially is dangerous because it also can be compromised. So there has security for any software program, for any information system. Talking about computer security, these are the basic things. Anything that protects your computers or your systems from viruses, to very heavy stuff that is actually protecting courses, all the way to the federal level and protecting the United States government from being compromised by these hackers and by these and disrupt things. And security is absolutely necessary because anything can be compromised online. Anything can be copied, and it's a lot of dangerous things and hazardous things that can come as a result of misusing technology. And that is why security must be initiated and must be utilized. Talking about the different types of security There are many different types of security, however, found an article by IBM that actually identified 3 types of security. Interesting and worth sharing. I'm talking about the first type of security, that's integrity security. And this is the security that prevents individuals from copying, manipulating, changing, or plagiarizing any form of information software without the owner or creator's consent. Reason for that is you don't want to break the law. You don't want copyright issue. And look, if the creator created it, they obviously did it for a reason. It was their initial idea. The security kind of prevents that from being misused and manipulated in improper ways. And that can go from using software programs to using any type of information system out there. Next, we're going to talk about authenticity security. Is this person who they say they are? Great way that authenticity security is being used is through digital signatures, which must be done online, making sure that whenever an individual is utilizing a program online or through the internet, that they are who they say they are, that they are not going to be dangerous, and that they're just a regular customer that is actually using their software program. So authenticity is a big deal, and it's not just digital signatures. It is passwords. It is personal information that you put in to make sure, again, that you're 100% the real deal. Finally, we're going to talk about confidentiality, and that is essentially keeping information that owners and creators wanted to keep confidential is kept confidential. And that is just, essentially protecting, software programs coding so that people it or copy it or use it if they do not want it to. Protecting information systems from being plagiarized or used in incorrect. These are confidentiality is absolutely necessary in certain cases, and there is a certain form of security that is utilized to confidentiality within information systems, and that is absolutely crucial in this technological world. Finally, we're going to talk about, and that is ethics within IT. Talked about there are basic moral codes that need to be followed for IT professionals and information systems alike, so that no boundaries are crossed, so that people's rights are honored and recognized, and that no laws are broken. Essential code, and we call that essentially ethics. So it is a moral code to live by, like I said. Again, for the professionals in which employees are not taking advantage of employers or vice versa. Where software is being used for the correct reason, that it is in legal boundaries and it is being created correctly with good moral intentions, and that is essentially that these IT professionals live by. Goes both ways, though. Again, for the user, you want to make sure that anyone who uses any sort of information system through online, if they use anything online or they use a system through a computer, that they know how to use it properly, and that they are using it to for moral reasons, not essentially to be good, but that they're following basic principles that are not, it is no way endangering anybody or becoming hazardous. Those ethics, that is why ethics is absolutely necessary within IT. Few issues that ethics actually will confront is spying online. A great example of this is when employers have to essentially spy on their employees to make sure that they are they are not improperly using the internet in any certain way. Is this ethical? To a certain extent, it can be, but there can be boundaries that can be crossed. Seeing into people's emails, looking at their personal information online, such as social. So that is definitely not ethical. So computer monitoring and any issue dealing with privacy, ethics has to set that boundary and a right to protect themselves, especially online. And that even goes back to the security, which is why security is necessary in essence, is to protect people online. Finally, kind of another issue, and again, there are numerous issues that ethics confront, but another issue that ethics within IT does is copying and plagiarizing systems. How ethical is it? open source software become illegal, or does it become abusive? To what extent can an individual copy, modify, maintain an information system without breaking the law, or without breaking the laws that the creator has set forth for that particular program? And these are all issues that ethics confronts, and ethics, again, is just a boundary that is set for individuals, both the consumers and the IT necessary moral boundary that is created for the like. And so, in conclusion, what has been learned in block? All three of these issues, believe it or not, are in conjunction with another. Talking about IT jobs, IT professionals, different sort of professionals, from consultants to the individuals that are working on computers, and they know the wiring, and they know the coding, and they know the software program. And then being connected to information security, in which how can those professionals be protected? How can their software be protected? How can their identities be protected? As well as for the customers or for the individuals that are utilizing information systems. How can their personal information be secure and safe? And finally, again, how does ethics kind of bind those all together? Ethics, again, that moral code keeps the IT professionals from taking advantage of everybody, keeps the customers or the individuals utilize from taking advantage and causing harm to anyone or anything. And one of those ways that it does it is security does protect people. And so all three of these issues within Block 3 are kind of in conjunction with one another, certainly are connected. And that is my video presentation. Thank you so much for joining me, and hope you found Block 3 creating. Thanks.